Hello there, Assalamualaikum. This is Amnah from My English Matters, where we help Malaysians and second language learners improve their English through our online courses and workshops. So today I'm live. It's Monday, 12 noon, Monday, 27th of January, 2025. If you're watching me, let me know. Drop me a comment. Tell me where you are watching from because I love to see your comments and I can also pull up your comments on screen if I see them. Today, I'm going to be talking about the four types of English learners, and we are going to identify what you are and what you can do to improve your English. And to be honest, I was planning to just record this without going live, but I found myself recording myself again and again every time I made a mistake. I was not happy with myself, so I record it again and again, and I thought, I'm never going to finish recording this, so I might as well go live because even if I make a mistake, I need to go on, right? The show must go on. So, hello again. Let me know where you are watching from if you're watching live. And I am going to pull up the slides for you. All right. The slides are here. So, today's topic is the four types of English learners. Which one are you? Okay. Right, so we're diving into the four types of English learners and we are calling them personas. So over the years, we've been teaching My English Matters since 2016. So this is actually our ninth year, if I'm not mistaken. It's our ninth year. And Madam Azima, she's been teaching even longer. Before she joined My English Matters, before we started My English Matters, she was teaching at public universities. So we've been teaching for quite a long time to our students who are English learners. And we have noticed that the English learners that we teach, they fall into four different categories, or we're calling them personas in this case. And based on these categories, we can identify what they need to work on, what they need to improve, and also what their strengths are. And it's not about putting them in boxes, but it's about knowing what their strengths are, and based on the skills and the potential that they have within that category, they can grow and become more confident communicators. So we're going to go into these four types of English learners, and we are calling them personas. All right, so a persona is a way to describe your personality and how you act or feel in different situations. All right. So when it comes to speaking and writing in English, your persona can show your strengths, your habits, and what you might find difficult. Understanding your persona can help you build on your strengths and overcome challenges unique to you. So based on our experience teaching English to second language learners, we have identified four personas. So the first persona is the budding speaker, the hidden gem, the aspiring star, and the communication champ. And if you are curious to find out what your unique persona is, I am going to go into detail in this session. Or we've also created a quiz for this. So you can take the quiz now. You can go to myenglishmatters.com/quiz. There's a quiz. It's called What's Your English Confidence Persona? And there are 8 questions in that quiz. It'll probably take you around 60 seconds to finish the quiz. And once you get the quiz, you'll find out whether you are the hidden gem, the budding speaker, the aspiring star, or the communication champ. And you'll see the details of each persona and what you can do to improve your English based on your persona. So you can go there now to find out, or you can just stay with me. I'd love for you to stay with me as we go through each persona. And maybe you can take a guess of what persona you are and confirm for yourself later on when you take the quiz. Okay, so the first one is the budding speaker. All right, can you see the font? Maybe I can make the slides bigger and myself smaller. All right, can you see me? Or maybe this one. I think I like this one. I hope I won't cover the writing. Okay, so the budding speaker is the person who is just starting their journey in speaking English, and that is perfectly fine. A lot of our students are budding speakers. Hey, sorry. Okay. And then the budding speaker is a person who is still learning the basics of English, like grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and other technical skills. But with regular practice, you, the budding speaker, can grow into a confident and fluent communicator. Okay, so the budding speaker is somebody who is still learning grammar, still learning to improve their vocabulary and pronunciation, all the other technical skills of English. They don't feel that confident yet, but with regular practice and learning, they can grow into a confident and fluent communicator. So if you are the budding speaker, you have a lot of potential. So what's next for you? If you find that you do the quiz and then you get the budding speaker persona, what do? You need to focus on building a strong foundation by focusing on the basics like grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and other important skills. At the same time, you can work on building your confidence step by step. So I've heard this and I say it a lot of times. Confidence comes with competence, meaning that if you are competent, that means that you have the skills, you have the knowledge, and you have a lot of practice. The confidence comes from that. So once you are competent at something in a particular field, say that you are a really competent cook, right? You like to cook, you know how to cook, you're competent at it. I would say you are a confident cook. So the same thing applies to speaking in English. When you are competent in things like grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, that builds the confidence for you to speak with confidence and fluency. Okay. Hello, Tiger General. Let me see. Let me try to show you a comment. I can see you there. If you're watching, let me know as well so I can pull up your comments. I am live actually right now, believe it or not. Okay. Let's move on. So I have 3 quick and easy action steps for the budding speaker if this is you. Number 1 is to start small and simple. So begin with easy to use tools like language apps or beginner level grammar and vocabulary books. These resources can help you build a strong understanding of the basics step by step. So focus on simple sentences and common phrases and don't rush. It's okay to take your time to understand and practice. So, a lot of our students, like I've said, are the budding speakers. They need to improve their grammar, they need to expand their vocabulary or improve their pronunciation and all that. And some of them may take longer to learn because they're not in an environment that is conducive for them to improve their English. Maybe they're surrounded by colleagues or family members who speak Malay and don't speak English. So it's going to be a more slower process for them to improve their English, but it's okay. There's no rush for you to become the confident and fluent speaker, especially if you are in an environment where it's not very conducive. So take your time to understand and practice and don't stress yourself out about that. But what you can also do as a quick and easy action step is to practice speaking daily. So look for a safe and supportive space where you can practice without fear of making mistakes. So if you join our programs like Members Monthly and Communicate with Confidence, we have a lot of opportunities for you to speak in our speaking practice sessions. But if you don't join, then that's fine. I want you to go out and look for someone that you can trust, someone that you feel comfortable with, to speak English with them on a daily basis. It could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be one of your children or all of your children or a good friend, where you feel that, I just want to speak English with them because I want to get into the habit of speaking English without worrying so much about being judged. Okay, so practicing really helps for you to improve your English. And start with short conversations about familiar topics like your day, your hobbies, or your family. The more you speak, the more comfortable and natural it will feel. Okay. And the third quick and easy action step that you can take if you are the budding speaker is to celebrate the small wins. So, like I said, Maybe it's going to take some time for you to improve your English because you're not surrounded by people who speak English with you on a daily basis. So it's going to be slower for you. But don't forget to celebrate the small wins, the small progress that you make each day, because every improvement matters, no matter how small it seems. Did you learn a new word today? Use it in a sentence. Did you manage to have a short conversation in English today? That is a huge step. Well, that's not a huge step. Maybe it's a big step, but it depends on your situation, right? So for some people, it could be a huge step. For some people, it could be a small step. Just celebrate that small win. Maybe you just joining in today. Maybe you say hi in the comments. That can be a small win as well. Okay? So reward yourself for the small successes because that helps build the confidence and it keeps you motivated to continue learning. And also every small step takes you brings you forward. It's not going to take you back, it's going to bring you forward. And by just watching one short video in English, that is already maybe that you can learn something in that video. You've already improved a little bit from when you did not watch the video, right? So celebrate those small wins. All right, the next persona that you may be, if you think that you are the budding speaker, let me know. You can write in the comments, just say, I think that's me, I think I'm the budding speaker. Because I'm going to move on to the next persona, which is the hidden gem. So the hidden gem is someone who has the skills and a solid foundation in English, but self doubt is holding them back. Do you think that's you? Because you have potential. Your potential is undeniable. It's like a diamond waiting to sparkle. That's why we call it the hidden gem. And so the next step is for you to build your confidence so you can use your skills with ease and let your brilliance shine. So, one thing that I notice about people who are the hidden gem is that they tend to be already quite fluent in English. They don't make a lot of grammar mistakes. They may make some mistakes here and there, but their English is good enough to for them to function at work and all that. But the thing that the feedback that they often receive is you have to speak up more or you're too quiet, right? Is that you? Do you always get people saying to you, you're too quiet, you have to speak up more, you are smart but you need to share your opinions more? Those are the types of comments that the hidden gem gets a lot because they are smart, they have the skills in English, they're able to speak, but the only thing that's holding them back is that they're too nervous to speak up, right? If that's you, let me know. So, what's next for you if you are the hidden gem? The focus now is on gaining the confidence to speak up and share your thoughts without fear. You have the skills, you just need to own them. All right, so what can you do as the hidden gem? I share with you 3 quick and easy action steps today. Number 1 is to reframe your mindset. It's time to shift how you see yourself and your journey with English. Mistakes are not failures, they are stepping stones to growth. So you need to remind yourself that even the most fluent speakers make mistakes, and that's completely okay. And so for me, whenever I'm feeling nervous about something, whenever I feel like, oh, I don't want to do a video, I don't want to teach, I don't want to go online because I'm afraid that I'm going to be making grammar mistakes or I'm going to be making mistakes here and there, I'm going to fumble. Whenever I feel like that, I watch a video of somebody who I admire, and then I notice that they make some mistakes here and there too. And I realize that the mistakes are what makes you more successful. You have to make mistakes to achieve the goal that you are aiming for, right? It's part of the process because if you don't make mistakes, maybe you're not doing it right. And when you make mistakes, you are able to improve on them and get better from those mistakes that you make. Okay? So even fluent speakers make mistakes, even those who I admire, communication speakers online and on podcast hosts and all that, those people that I watch on YouTube and on podcasts, they make mistakes too. And when I see them making mistakes, it makes me feel more confident about myself to make mistakes. Because what's important is the message and being able to share what I need to share for others. Okay? And every step builds your confidence and proves your potential. So that is one quick and easy action step, is to reframe your mindset around mistakes. All right. Another quick and easy action step, if you are the hidden gem, is to speak regularly. Speak English regularly. Challenge yourself to participate in small conversations, whether it's a greeting to a colleague, or sharing a thought in a meeting, or contributing in class. Start with low pressure situations and gradually take on more. Each time you speak, you will feel a little more confident and comfortable expressing yourself. So, a low pressure situation can be basically, it just means a situation where it's less stressful for you. So, maybe a low pressure situation at work could be a meeting with your colleagues, one or two or three people with of your colleagues. And maybe a higher pressure situation, a more stressful situation, is with your colleagues, but your boss is there. Okay. So start speaking up more in those low stress situations. And then the more that you practice feeling more confident in those kinds of situations, push yourself to speak up more in situations where you feel a little bit stressed, right? Like doing this Facebook Live for me, it's a little bit stressful, but it's good for me. All right. And then the third quick and easy action step for the hidden gem is to record yourself speaking. So choose a short topic, such as introducing yourself or talking about a hobby, and press record. Right? You don't have to post it on YouTube. You don't have to post it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. It's just for you. Keep it on your phone. Talk about something. Talk about anything. It could be something like that you're interested in. Okay. And then listen to the recording so that you can identify areas to improve, whether it's your pronunciation, your tone, or your phrasing. Because you are the hidden gem, you may already be aware of grammar and all that. You may already be quite fluent, you have the skills already. So when you listen to yourself, you're able to identify some of the mistakes that you may make, or certain words that you can say better, you can pronounce better, or how you talk, the tone that you use, how it can be improved. All right. And I have a little tip for you. This is a tip that I've learned for myself. I like to listen to podcasts on a slightly faster speed. So try speeding up the playback of your recording, meaning that if you record yourself, then you listen to yourself, try to speed it up to 1.5 or 2, even 2x. When you speed up the playback a little bit, you will notice that you are more focused on the content rather than your how you sound. So you're not going to be so judgmental to yourself, because when you listen to yourself and you're speaking faster, it will not sound like you so much. So you're not going to be critiquing yourself too much in that way. Okay. So that's how I do it. I also don't like listening to myself. So when I listen back to something that I record, I listen to it at a faster speed so that it doesn't sound exactly like me, it sounds a little bit different. And then I can focus more on the content rather than being so harsh on myself. All right. So that is the hidden gem. Let's move on to the third persona, which is the aspiring star. So the aspiring star is the star of the show, almost. So if you are the aspiring star, you have the confidence, but you know that there's room for you to refine your grammar, your pronunciation, and other technical aspects of English like vocabulary, sentence structure, and fluency to truly shine. A little polishing, and you'll be the leading communicator in no time. So, is that you? Do you think that, I'm already quite confident in English? It's just that I want to be better. I want to sound more polished in terms of your grammar, in terms of grammar, pronunciation, and all that. So if you think that's you, you have the confidence, you but you want to sound more polished. You just want to level up a little bit. Then you could be the aspiring star. So, what's next for you if you are the aspiring star? To truly shine, it's time to refine your language skills so they match your confidence. This will ensure you communicate with clarity and impact in any situation. So, I have 3 quick and easy action steps for you if you are the aspiring star. Number one is to identify common grammar mistakes. Pay close attention to feedback from teachers, colleagues, or peers that you receive. You can also use grammar checking tools to spot errors. So, in our sessions at My English Matters, in our courses and our members' monthly classes, we are always sharing feedback on our students because that's part of the job, right? And sometimes when you're speaking to colleagues or peers, they may not give you feedback. So if that's you, if you feel that you want feedback, we'd love for you to join any of our sessions at My English Matters. That's where we provide feedback because we're not going to provide it when I speak to other people. I'm not going to give feedback on their English, but when I'm speaking as a teacher, I give feedback because I know that's what our students need. Now, if you don't join our sessions, then it's fine. You can use grammar checking tools to spot errors. Another tip is to record yourself, just like the hidden gem tip, is to record yourself and listen to yourself speak to notice those common grammar mistakes that you may be making. And to deepen your understanding, you can also learn more advanced grammar concepts to help you recognize how grammar rules apply in different contexts. Okay. The second tip is to fine tune your pronunciation. So choose an English podcast or video featuring clear and natural speech. Listen to a short segment, then try to imitate the speaker's tone, rhythm, and intonation. So you can record yourself to compare your pronunciation with the original. And focus on commonly mispronounced words in English and use online tools or pronunciation guides to refine specific sounds. So we have students who are quite confident already, but they want to improve their pronunciation, and they don't even, some of them do not know what aspects of pronunciation they need to improve. So we have one student who's quite confident, and then when I was listening to her, I realized that she pronounced certain words differently because based on where she lives, the region that she comes from. And if other people from different regions listen to her speak, they may not understand some words because of the pronunciation. So when you have that feedback, you're able to improve and refine your pronunciation based on that, based on the feedback. And another quick and easy action step is to expand your vocabulary. Okay, so make it a daily habit to learn 3 to 5 new words each day. Use tools like a vocabulary app, flashcards, or a good dictionary tailored to English learners. So we use online dictionaries. We always use the Oxford Learners Dictionary for our students. And start by selecting words that are relevant to your life, to your work, or your interests, and try using them in conversations or writing immediately. Okay, so the aspiring star is already quite confident, and we believe that they're already quite advanced in their English, but to get to that next level, that we think that you can expand your vocabulary to sound even better. And when it comes to expanding your vocabulary, choose words that are relevant to things that you may need to talk about all the time, such as your life, your work, or maybe even your interests. So you can do that by watching videos and listening to podcasts and being aware of certain new words that you hear. Go back, find out what they mean, or you can just use your phone to Google what certain words mean, and to retain those words, to memorize and remember those words, try using them immediately when you write and when you speak. All right, and then challenge yourself to use those words in different contexts. Now, the fourth and the last persona is the communication champ. So the communication champ has got confidence, and strong English skills. If that's you, you're already an effective communicator, right? You're already quite good at grammar. You don't think you have made many mistakes in grammar. You're already quite, you could say, perfect. But there's always room for growth. To truly become a communication superstar, it's time to refine the finer nuances of your speaking style and master advanced techniques. So, what's next for you? If you think that you are the communication champ, you have no problems in speaking, you have no problems in um, fluency and confidence, what can you do to improve? I want you to keep pushing your boundaries by engaging in more complex conversations, honing your storytelling abilities, and experimenting with different communication styles. This will not only boost your confidence, but also elevate your influence as a communicator. So, if you think that you are already the communication champ, what can you do to get even better, to grow? Okay. So let me share with you 3 quick and easy action steps. The first one is to master idiomatic expressions. So, idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs will make you sound more natural and help you connect more authentically with native speakers. So, start by learning common idioms and phrasal verbs used in everyday conversations and try using them in your own speech. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about idiomatic expressions because we have a podcast on that. It's called, it's episode 131, 15 Common Idiomatic Expressions for Everyday Situations. So, in that episode, Aisha shares tips for learning idioms and phrasal verbs, and she also shares some common idioms that native speakers use so that you can get used to using them and use them in your own daily life. And then the second tip for people who are the communication champ is practice storytelling. So, storytelling is a powerful skill that allows you to engage your audience and communicate your ideas clearly and effectively. So, whether you're sharing personal experiences or presenting information, a well told story makes your message more memorable and impactful. So a lot of people think that telling a story is like telling a fairy tale. Like once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. That I'm not talking about that. Storytelling, that is also storytelling. But when it comes to work and presentations and all that, a story can be something simple. It can even be told in just 3 sentences. So the basic structure of a story is it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And when, for example, you may be presenting data, something that's really boring, how can you insert a story in it? It doesn't have to be a long story. It doesn't even need to be your own story. It could be somebody else's story. It could even be a made up story or a made up example to get people to understand what you are trying to present. Okay. So when it comes to storytelling, it's more about getting people to understand what you're trying to present or what you're trying to explain in the form of a story. Okay, I hope that's clear. And also, one tip about storytelling is that when you're telling a story, a good story is when you're telling the story, people don't notice that you're actually telling the story because they are so engaged in that story. They're so emotionally, what do you call it, attached. They're so emotionally in it that they don't even realize that you're telling the story. They're just understanding it and connecting with you on a deeper level based on that story. But if people are thinking, but if you start telling a story and people are thinking, oh no, she's telling a story, or where's she trying to go with this, that means that they're not in the story and you've kind of failed in telling the story. So you have to master the art of storytelling by practicing a lot and experimenting with using descriptive language, emotions, and transitions to make your storytelling more engaging. So, storytelling is more of an advanced technique, and we do teach this in our programs. So, I hope you'll join us if you want to improve your storytelling skills. Okay? And one thing that about storytelling is that the example about if people don't notice you're telling a story, then that's a good story. It's like when you're watching a movie. When I watch a movie and I am imagining what the producers or the directors or the screenwriters are talking about and discussing, that means for me, I feel that the story is not good enough because I'm watching the story like a third party person rather than being in that story with the characters. Okay, so that's the difference between a good story and a not so good story. And then the third quick and easy action step for the communication champ is to experiment with styles. So practice adjusting your communication style depending on your audience, whether it's formal or informal, professional or casual, or maybe if you're a teacher. If you are a good communicator, you are able to adjust how you speak according to your audience. So if you feel that your audience is more basic, then you would use basic English language. If you feel that your audience is more advanced, then you would use more advanced language for them. So pay attention to body language, vocal tone, and pacing to ensure your message is received effectively. Okay. So for me, as a teacher of English, I teach English to a large audience. So if I'm teaching something that's more advanced, or I'm having a conversation with someone on a podcast, for example, I'm speaking to someone who is more advanced, then I would speak a lot faster. And sometimes we get comments in our video saying, Amna, you're speaking too fast, speak slowly. And what we say is just slow down the speed if that happens. But if I'm teaching something that I believe is more basic, then I would speak slower, even though I know that what I'm teaching is there will be a lot of viewers, but based on the topic itself, if I believe that topic is for somebody who's a basic learner, then I would speak slowly, right? So if that's you, if you find yourself presenting something and your audience is made up of different types of levels of English, basic or more advanced, speak at the pace and speak at the um, and use the language that is suitable for the person you are speaking to, for the top of the who the topic is relevant to. That's what I mean. Okay, I hope that's clear. So pay attention to body language, your vocal tone, and pacing to ensure that your message is received effectively. And the more that you experiment with different speaking styles, the more flexible and persuasive you'll become in various contexts. All right. So today we have uncovered the four different types of English learners, or the personas. We've talked about the budding speaker, we talked about the hidden gem, the aspiring star, and the communication champ. So which one do you think you are? You can take the quiz now at myenglishmatters.com/quiz to find out. And remember, no persona is better than another. Each type has unique strengths. The key is to work with what you have. And understanding your persona is the first step to unlocking your English confidence. Once you know your strengths and areas to grow, you'll find it much easier to progress. So thank you so much for joining me for today. Go to myenglishmatters.com/quiz to take the short quiz called What's Your English Confidence Persona? And let us know, what confidence persona do you get? Are you the budding speaker, the hidden gem, the aspiring star, or the communication champ? We love hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now, and Assalamu alaikum.